people will be able to walk up downstairs. You saw that when you came in today, and that's how it's going to happen in communities like this. They're tight-knit, word will spread, and that is what's so important. And then when individuals are vaccinated, and they can go out in the community and say, you know what, it wasn't that bad, and I feel better now, and I'm going to get my second dose. If I didn't get the Johnson & Johnson, I'm going to get my second dose right on time. And we need people to go out there, because the first wave of people is easy. These are the people like, I want it, I want it, I want it. What's going to happen when finally the supply meets the demand, there will be a point when supply exceeds the demand. We'll be looking for people to vaccinate. And we'll need everybody who's been vaccinated, as well as these wonderful community leaders, to go out there and say, no, it's safe, you have to do this. So in order for us to reach what we call herd immunity, 70 to 90% of the community has to be vaccinated. And then and only then we'll be able to say, yes, it's okay to go to all the restaurants again and keep them alive, and to walk down the streets and have our festivals and our parades again. I was here February a year ago, one of the last great celebrations we had. And this is when the coronavirus was starting to spread elsewhere, and people were very nervous. And it was not the crowds we wanted to see at the time. And you could almost see that as a foretelling of what was to come, but not quite. I don't think any of us would have imagined we'd miss this year of a great celebration, our Lunar New Year's celebration, and the impact that that has on our businesses. It is crushing. And we need help from the federal government. It's finally coming. Thank God for President Joe Biden and for Senator Schumer, who are in a position to get that money to the state of New York. Our state of New York, with Governor Cuomo and our legislature, we're working on getting money for businesses as well. That's all coming. But in the meantime, we have to keep them alive just so they can hold on a little bit longer. But what's really painful for me, while all this anxiety is going on, particularly in this community, to have these episodes of hate where people feel they can go up to someone just because of who they are, where they came from, that they can denigrate them, they can insult them. In some cases, they can physically harm them. So people of Asian descent, whether they've lived here all their lives, whether they're newcomers, they're still part of our family. So you're hitting one of our family members. You're hurting someone we care about. This is a communal experience coming through this pandemic together. And if anything, it should make us feel the stronger ties to each other. And so we all have to stand up in government and in every organization. We have to stand up and call it out for what it is. It is a hate crime. These people need to be prosecuted. They need to be publicly named so people know this is what's going to happen to you. You will be shamed publicly. And hopefully that'll be a deterrent. But I've had many conversations in the community. I was with Gary Smang this morning as well, a great friend of mine from Congress. It's also about re-educating people, telling the great story of the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, what they've done to build this country. Look at the railroads, look at the small businesses, look at all the jobs that are created because of the entrepreneurial spirit. People are willing to take a risk, to come from so far away and build their lives here and be so successful, and the value they put on education, making sure their children have a better shot than they had. This is the contribution that makes us so great. How do we not honor that? But until we get to that time when we can change people's hearts, we have to change their behavior. Because you should not be a senior citizen afraid to walk down your streets right here in America. This is not the country that we love deeply. And we're going to change that. And we cannot give up hope and not let fear keep us in our homes. We've been kept in our homes for too long this year. It's time to come out. It's time to come out and support each other. So whatever we can do, our administration will be there, shoulder to shoulder with you, and make sure one of the challenges is when someone's been victimized, they're not just physical scars, there's also emotional scars. They have to feel there's no stigma. Getting support and maybe counseling, help to get through this. But it has to be in a language they understand. Having all these services available in English only does not help anybody. That's another challenge we have to meet.